Did you know that Earth is still the only place in the universe known to host life? However, in the quest to discover distant planets, scientists have gradually found that there are many super-Earths with similar characteristics, some of which might even support life. These worlds are far from boring or barren like Mars. They are larger, better, and potentially more habitable than Earth. One of these planets is considered the most promising candidate for a super-habitable world. Imagine a massive rocky world, twice the size of Earth, orbiting within the habitable zone of its star. This means conditions could allow liquid water to exist on its surface, a crucial ingredient for life as we know it. Picture a world so vast that it would take over 100 hours to fly between its continents, offering abundant land for life to flourish, much more than on Earth. This planet orbits a very special type of star. Our Sun is a main sequence star, often called a yellow dwarf, which only lasts about 10 billion years. The Sun is roughly halfway through its life, meaning in about 5 billion years it will expand into a red giant that could engulf Earth. But the exoplanet COI7101 is different. It orbits an orange dwarf star, slightly smaller than our Sun, but much more stable. In some cases, these stars can last up to 70 billion years. Life on Earth has existed for only about 4 billion years. Can you imagine what life might look like after 70 billion years of evolution? That could be when civilizations reach Type 3 on the Kardashev scale, building hundreds of Dyson spheres and establishing a vast network to harness stellar energy. Though this sounds perfect and many of you might want to move there immediately, there's a fact you need to know. This planet is very far away. COI7101 is 3,000 light-years from Earth. If we left today using NASA's Orion spacecraft, it would take over 100,000 years to reach it. Maybe one day, a faster spacecraft will allow us to get there within a reasonable time. But for now, we can only dream about the fascinating life forms that could thrive there. Perhaps we should explore a world a little closer to Earth. About 1,400 light-years away lies a safe haven with potential for life. The exoplanet Kepler-42b, often referred to as Earth 2.0. This planet has many similarities to Earth. It orbits a star like the Sun, taking 384 days to complete a year, just 5% longer than an Earth year, creating a month of exactly 32 days. However, it is a super-Earth, meaning it is about 50% larger than Earth, giving us more land and possibly more water. It seems promising, but there are a few drawbacks. Although Kepler-42b is only 50% larger, it is actually 5 times heavier, meaning gravity on the surface would be twice as strong, making everything twice as heavy. You would also have to stay updated on asteroids. On Earth, Jupiter acts as a protector, shielding us from frequent asteroid impacts. Kepler-42b, however, has no giant planets in its system, which might make it seem vulnerable, but recent simulations suggest otherwise. A solar system without a Jupiter-like planet may actually experience 3.5 times fewer asteroid impacts than Earth. So, Kepler-42b being solitary might make it safer for a civilization. Still, it is far from perfect. Its star is older than our Sun, and older Sun-like stars tend to emit more energy, which could gradually heat the planet and trigger a runaway greenhouse effect. This would make the planet resemble Venus rather than Earth, wiping out all life permanently. Closer to Earth, about 600 light-years away in the Cygnus constellation, is Kepler-2b, one of the most intriguing super-Earths ever discovered. This planet has puzzled astronomers for years. It orbits in the habitable zone, and observations suggest it is truly a water world, a massive ocean covering a rocky core hundreds of kilometers deep. Life might have evolved beneath these oceans, with strange aquatic creatures, only imaginable in the wildest dreams. Kepler-22b orbits a Sun-like star with a long 289.9-day orbit. The star is a G-type star, similar to our Sun but slightly smaller and cooler. Kepler-22b is 2.4 times the size of Earth, and if it has a suitable atmosphere, the temperature could average around 22.2 degrees Celsius, making it fully capable of supporting human life. Even closer, only 39 light-years away, is the TRAPPIST-1 system, with 7 Earth-sized planets tightly orbiting their star. 3 of them lie within the habitable zone. Astronomers have dedicated countless hours to studying this system, searching for life. They detected these planets using the transit method, observing slight dips in starlight as the planets passed in front of their star. These planets are much older than Earth, meaning life there could have had at least 3 billion years to evolve before Earth even formed. TRAPPIST-1e, the fourth planet from the star, is slightly smaller than Earth and could support liquid water. Scientists believe it may have an oxygen-rich atmosphere, potentially even better for life than Earth's. The TRAPPIST-1 system is very different from our solar system. Its planets orbit a tiny red dwarf star, much cooler than the Sun, so the planets must be very close to it. Some may be tidally locked, with one side permanently heated and the other frozen, possibly creating narrow habitable strips. The most fascinating part: you could look up at the sky and see enormous neighboring planets orbiting right next to you. You could even travel between them, like visiting different countries, skiing on slopes, or enjoying tropical worlds, all potentially within reach in the future. Over 300 years ago, German philosopher Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz argued that Earth was the best of all possible worlds. But as science has advanced, we realize Earth might not be the best among all existing worlds. Tectonic activity and changes in solar brightness have dramatically altered our climate over time. In fact, Earth was once uninhabitable for humans and other large creatures during much of its 4.5 billion year history. Long-term habitability on Earth is not guaranteed. Thus, we should feel fortunate to have been born at the most favorable stage of Earth's history. Meanwhile, among billions of super-Earths out there, some could be better homes for humanity. Researchers have compiled extensive evidence suggesting that super-Earths are ideal for life. One argument is that their larger size promotes geological activity, driving biological evolution and making them easier to live on than smaller planets. Super-Earths could have shallow oceans that allow sunlight to penetrate to the seabed, with average temperatures around 25 degrees Celsius. They may also have thicker atmospheres that act as thermal blankets and orbit older stars, offering stable conditions for life and strong magnetic fields to protect against cosmic radiation. In fact, astronomers have already discovered dozens of potentially habitable super-Earths that could theoretically support life. It may only be a matter of time before we find evidence proving that humans are not alone in the universe. Dear viewers, that's it for today's video. Galaxy TV wishes you a wonderful day. Thank you for your support and for following along. We hope this video gave you new insights into the development of space science worldwide. Did you enjoy today's video? Do you have suggestions for Galaxy TV to create even better videos? Or topics you'd like us to explore? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with all the exciting content from Galaxy TV.